Hey guys, Amanda here. Today I wanted to share with you 4 tips I have for understanding the anatomy of a kayak. So why are these tips important? First and foremost, understanding kind of the parts and the anatomy of your kayak is really helpful when you start to develop your stroke, paddling technique, rescue skills, and when you start adding accessories to your kayak as well. So tip number 1, you want to go ahead and first and foremost get orientated with the basics of your boat. So if that means, standing outside on your deck and just sitting there and taking a look, or drawing a diagram and making some notes, whatever works for you is great. But you want to get oriented with the basics. The basics being the front part of your boat is known as the bow, and the stern is known as the rear part of your boat. Port is your left side, starboard is your right side. So those are your 4 basic anatomy facts, I guess you could say, to help you get started. Tip number 2, you want to be aware that sit-in and sit-on-top kayak styles are going to be slightly different, but they're going to have the same general exterior anatomy in particular, and they're also going to have some similar interior components as well. One of those being the cockpit. So the cockpit is the place where you sit. The deck is known as the top side of your boat, and the hull is known as the bottom of your boat. As far as left and right goes, the keel is going to be the side that runs from your bow to your stern on both sides. So that's easy to remember, at least for that one, as far as anatomy is concerned. Tip number 3, you want to note your carry handles. So the handles likely that you've been using to carry your boat around and maybe just hadn't thought of labeling. So they're going to be located in the front and the rear. The openings on the inside of your boat and where you store your gear are called hatches. So you want to keep that in mind, depending on if and how many hatches your boat has. The bulkhead is the wall in your boat that actually keeps water from filling your cargo space, so that's really important to know about. And then finally, this likely, hopefully I don't shoot myself in the foot, but I think the majority of the time scupper holes are only found on sit-on-top kayaks. I know my sit-on-top kayak had a scupper hole, my sit-in style did not, so you'll most commonly find those on sit-on-tops. And scupper holes are implemented into your boat design to help drain any water that slushes across your deck, so you don't have to do it yourself. And then finally, a couple interior components to mention are your foot braces. Those are going to be the adjustable rests for your feet that you'll intuitively put your feet on when you sit in your kayak. They're located inside your footwell, and they also can be used to control a rudder if your kayak has a rudder, or if you ever intend on adding a rudder to your kayak, as well as thigh braces. So your boat may or may not have thigh braces, but these are going to be mostly in your sit-in kayaks, and they're going to be kind of the side portions of your cockpit that kind of hug those edges and allow you to position and push your body against to provide more control and stability for your boat. So quickly to recap, I know that was a lot, and probably a visual image diagram with some notes would be useful, so I'll work on putting that together for you also to supplement this video. 4 tips for understanding the anatomy of your kayak. Get orientated with the basics. So know that the bow is in the front, the stern is in the rear, the port is your left side, the starboard is your right side, and that's going to be standard for all kinds of boats as far as I'm aware of, at least. Tip number 2, know that your sit-in and your sit-on-top styles are going to differ slightly, but have some of the same primary components in the same anatomy for sure. So the deck is known as the top side of your boat, the hull is going to be the bottom side, and the keel is what runs from the bow to the stern on either side. And then as far as some more like accessory features that are important to know about are your carry handles, which is what you use to carry your boat. They're the handles located in the front and the rear. Your hatches are going to be the openings to the inside of your boat where you can store gear. The bulkhead is the wall in your boat that keeps the water from filling your cargo space. And finally, scupper holes are used to drain water that sloshes across your deck, and these are typically only found on sit-on-top kayaks. Fourth tip, you want to note your foot braces, which are the adjustable rests for your feet on the inside of your cockpit, and your thigh braces, which hug your cockpit sides in a sit-in style kayak. So that's a quick rundown of the basic anatomy of a kayak and tips on learning and identifying those parts. So I'd love to hear any other tips you might have, or if you enjoyed one of these in particular, it was useful for you in understanding the parts of your boat. And as always, any feedback or comments that you have in the comment section below this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this useful. I'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like connecting with other outdoor enthusiasts, you should definitely consider checking out Summit. Summit is a social network that brings together adventure junkies from all around the world to exchange stories, share advice, and inspire each other. You might even make some new friends too. It's kind of like Facebook for outdoorsy people, but with better privacy, no ads, no spam, and tons of extras. You can join Summit by going to summit.theadventurejunkies.com or by clicking the link in the description below. You can find me in Summit too, so be sure to say hi when you join.